Hi everyone, this is Sonia and this is my new YouTube channel, Sonia Psychology Classes. This channel is all about psychology, as the name says. I'm going to cover every possible topic in psychology with you all, and this is for students across the boards, say IB, Cambridge, ASA level, state board, CBSE, ICSE, or any other board, or even for the ones who are just interested in studying the subject, just have the passion to learn this subject. So for academic as well as non-academic. Yeah, so this is my first video, and before we actually start with any psychology topics, I thought, to answer to this question, because this is one question which I come across very often by many people. Like over the years, in my experience, I've come across people asking me, is this an important subject? Is it important to understand or to learn psychology? Like, what's so big deal about it? I mean, I know myself, I'm doing well in life. So what is the real need of, me to learn psychology? So, well, if I talk about importance of learning psychology, you don't need to learn psychology unless and until you're dealing with people. So basically, it is very important for us to learn this subject, to learn psychology, only if we plan to deal with any human beings, including yourself. That means, yes, it is indeed important subject. So coming to this, why psychology is important, saying, as said by some psychologists, wherever the people are, psychology is. Psychology is all about the study of mind and behavior. We study how the mind functions, what are the reasons, what are the causes of the behavior, why we behave in a certain manner. So these are the things we usually study in the subject. So talking about psychology, that where all it is important, I truly believe that, psychology is important for your own self. Leave people alone what they say. For your own self, it is very, very important. So yes, personal is there. Relationships, of course, is there. Then comes in the organizations, where you work, your workplace, businesses, if you have any. Then comes in your society and so on. So just start thinking. So this is the first one, personal, very important. When I say it is important for your own self, now many people think that, of course, I know myself, and you know yourself the best, and more than anyone else in the world. I've been with myself since birth, and I'm going to be with myself till the time I die. So whole lifetime I'm there with myself. So what is the need of me to learn psychology for my own self? So here is, I really like this picture, the way this girl is seeing her own emotions. I guess many a times we all have a time where there are a lot of conflicts, emotional and mental conflicts in our own mind. My mind says something, my heart, my brain says something else. So there are a lot of conflicts. Sometimes we are even not aware of how am I feeling, why am I feeling this way, and what do I need to do. So these mental conflicts leads to a lot of frustration and usually leads to indecisiveness. So in order to be more decisive, it is important that we understand that how I'm feeling, why I'm thinking this way. It is even to move on from the negative thoughts to the positive thoughts that we strive for. So these things, it is very important that we need to introspect. So yes, introspection is one word here. It is important for us to introspect that how we are feeling and why are we feeling in a certain manner and what caused me this feeling. So when we start introspecting our own selves, we just become a better improvised person. We become more rationalized. We stop punishing ourselves. We stop, blaming ourselves. The guilt level usually goes down, and we give ourselves, some space and some space to breathe. and we don't curse ourselves that much sometimes, like some of us we usually do. So it is important to understand. So when you study this subject, it just helps you. It's not that you'll not be sad anymore, you'll not be depressed anymore. Anybody who studies this subject will never have mental or emotional conflicts, nothing like that. You might still have it, but the only thing is you start thinking, you're trained to think more in a more rationalized way. Your brain becomes wired, starts wiring in that particular manner, that you start thinking more logically, and you start understanding your own emotions on a much deeper level, in a much better way. So when you start doing that, even if when you get emotional, like you're angry, or you're feeling very depressed or sad, or you are frustrated from inside or confused, at least you'll be able to counsel your own self. You're able to understand that why I'm feeling in certain manner, and when you do that, it really calms you down, it soothes you. So I'm not saying that we have to become a psychologist to do that, but just learning the subject really trains our brain really well for understanding our own selves. So this is one of the most important things. Next is relationships. It is also very, very important. When I talk about relationships, it can be relationship with our spouse, our family, school teacher, our peer groups, everybody, whomsoever, like people we meet around. So we have different kind of relationship, even at the workplace or school, wherever. So relationships are very, very important. Besides our own mental conflicts that we have within ourselves, other than this, many a times we have relationship issues with our close ones, loved ones. And so learning psychology is not going to eradicate or eliminate those problems altogether. No such magical thing is going to happen, of course, but it's just that when you start understanding the relationships, you start understanding the most important thing, that each one of us is very unique. No two people are same, and how you expect the other person to react to you, it is never going to happen that ways, unless and until you are lucky. So every person has their own way of expressing, own way of behaving. So once you understand this, your relationships start to soothe down, and there are lesser conflicts. The lesser conflicts are not because you learn psychology only. The lesser conflicts are because you learn psychology and you're understanding how this relationship is going to work and what best can I do when I'm talking about these relationships. So it is very, very helpful if you want to have healthy relationship with the people around. Moving ahead, very important, organizational psychology. Psychology at workplace. If I say my boss yelled at me in the morning, which leads me to feeling frustrated and sad and very annoyed that he yelled at me in front of the staff, I might feel very bad about it, of course. So, but if I have studied psychology, and if I start to rationalize and think more logically and reason it out, what could be the reason? One of the reasons could be, yes, it might have been my mistake, so I admit it. Or it could be he himself is frustrated and he's yelling at me. All right, so nothing to take personally. So many a times it happens that a boss is yelling because maybe he has his own pressure, stress of work, and which he's just venting out to you because he can, authoritative position. So yes, so we start, some of us who usually have a habit of taking things very personally, we start not taking things so personally. We understand it, and once we do that, it becomes easier for our own selves to calm down, and we don't feel any more frustrated about the same. So society is full of norms, expectations, and so on. There are all kind of people in this world. All variety is there. different societies have different kind of expectations, especially when you're migrating for your job, or for whatsoever reasons you're moving to a new society or the society you're currently staying in. If you do not understand the norms and expectations of the society, you are bound to have some conflicts, which again can lead to frustration and annoyance. You can outcast yourself at some point of time. So it is very important that we understand the psychology of a society, the society that we are staying. If we understand what people, this cultural norms are, what kind of expectations they have from us, and all the other things. So once we understand that, it's easier for us to adapt, for us to adjust ourselves to this. So this is one of the most important thing, and this is what I'm feeling, what are my heart's desires, how I feel. I'm an individual person, so there is no good, the reduction of group thinking, validating, getting, seeking for external validation, or thinking about self-boosting or self-motivating, things like that. So basically, when you learn this subject, you are training your brain to work in a certain manner, to become more rationalized, to start having more introspection, to validate your own feelings in a very positive and healthy manner. So these are the things when we study psychology. So I really believe that studying this subject is not just for your academic purposes, but for your for your life, to make your life much more easier and hence happier. So yeah, that was all. This was a short video to understand why psychology is important in our lives. And if you want to see more, I have more videos coming up. So my next video is about the experiments, research methods. So research methods, what are research methods and why research methods are important in psychology? I'm going to give a brief about the same in my next video. So please like, subscribe and share. And if you have any query, or if you want to talk to me related to your any conflicts that you are having right now in your life and you want to discuss about it, please feel free to send me an email on soniapsychologyclasses@gmail.com, and I would be happy to answer that. Bye bye, take care, thank you.